folks, JD here, and I've been asked a question. Well, here she is. I didn't think I still had this guy, but I do. So, what we're going to do? Well, I think the best way to sort of simulate any sort of weight with any sort of quadcopter is use something which could be representative of what somebody else would use, and I think they are action cams. So what I've got here, I've got 5 action cams on the floor of varying weight that I use whenever it comes to either use as a floor cam or as an action cam that I put on top of or underneath a quadcopter. So what are the plans for today? Well, I've taken off the camera here and I'm going to affix a camera underneath just using some Velcro straps. Often when it comes to battery life, quadcopters, weight, balance, it's often easier and better if you have a camera on top of the quadcopter so that it pushes up rather than pulls, because otherwise what you may find is you're going to damage the motors. These are only little brushed motors, so therefore they are prone to burn out after X amount of time. So what I'm going to do today is put a little camera underneath here, take her up, see if she holds. If there's any sort of straining or anything like that, then we know that that's pretty much our limit. Now, as the weather with us has been absolutely terrible, I can't test this outside, so I'm going to be testing this in a controlled environment inside. And what we're going to do is put a camera on, take her up, see exactly how she holds, bring her down, swap the camera out. But I am going to be weighing each camera before it goes up, so therefore we can see exactly what weight each of these cameras are and exactly how this quadcopter handles. What I would say is if you are going to put a camera on any quadcopter, make sure that you do it and it's nice and safe and secure. There are proper Velcro straps that go around quadcopters, and they're the ones that I use mostly, and they hold the camera on nice and sturdy. Because what you have to remember is even when you take off with a camera or any sort of weight which is additional to the overall quadcopter, that weight is prone to move, and if that weight will move, then your quadcopter is going to become unbalanced, which could become unsafe. So with this, I'm going to stop waffling and let's start the test. Okay, so for this test to work properly, what we're going to do is, on a level ground, we're going to weigh the cameras first to see exactly how much they are, and then I'm going to mark them down on here and see what we've got. So if I start off, we've got the GoPro, then we've got the 4K mate cam, then we've got the Mobius, then we've got the Runcam 1, then we've got the DB Power, and then we've got the HD 1080. So we've got these 6 cameras going for the second. So what we're going to do now is just weigh them, and then we can get a feel for exactly how much these weigh. So let's turn on the scales. So let's start off with the GoPro. GoPro weighs 70 grams. Okay, let that zero itself again. Then we've got the mate cam. The mate cam weighs 49 grams. Then we've got the Mobius, which weighs 32 grams. Then we've got the Runcam 1, which weighs 30 grams. Then we've got the DB Power, which weighs 96 grams. Then we've got the HD 1080, which weighs 32 grams. Let me just put that back on there again. Just reset this scale. I don't think the DB Power weighs 96 grams. 59. Okay, so there we have it. We have our weights and we have our cameras all set up. Okay, so with this, let's get to testing. Okay, well that was a bit of fun. What exactly did we learn from watching that? Well, to begin with, the first time that I attached the GoPro just under here, and I gave it at least 50% of its power, I found that the GoPro was too heavy for the quadcopter, it wouldn't lift. I gave it 3/4, it still wouldn't lift. And then the second attempt, what I did is I just wrapped it straight up to 100% from 0, and then you watch the quadcopter just take off. Now, the problem with that is a couple of things. One, it's obviously too much weight for the quadcopter. 2, you're going to burn out the motors. 3, you're going to deplete that battery quickly. And 4, if you're outside, the chances of that actually, the chances of something bad happening are very, very high. So this is when then we went through all the other cameras and we saw that the run cam took off without any issues. That is fine because that is built once again for RC vehicles. The Mobius, exactly the same. Mobius is a lot like the run cam in every way, especially, including weight. Then we looked at the DB power. It's a bit heavier. We looked at the HD 1080p, it's roughly the same as the DB power, and then the mate cam as well being another heavy one, and I had to find that I had to wrap that straight up to 100% in order for that to take off too. Now, what this tells me from all of this is that the only thing that I would be considering putting on here would be the run cam. That would be it, or the Mobius at a stretch. All the other cameras that I have, I would not use on this. Just because, obviously, as I say, you risk damage to the quadcopter and you risk damage to something actually bad happening. So as for power outputs, this is exactly what I had to do. If you see in 100%, that is 100% of the throttle. 50 is half, obviously 0 is off. So this is exactly the power output that I had to put through in order to get this quadcopter to lift. I think it's safe to say that 70 grams when it comes in with the GoPro is too heavy, but then you've got Mobius at 32 and run cam at 30. That's around about if you're looking for a camera with a much better picture, that would be around the weight that I would be expecting, 32 grams. Obviously then we're looking at the DB power, 59 grams. That's not great. And then the mate cam at 49 grams. Again, you're getting back into the heaviness spectrum there as well. So yeah, honestly, if I were you, I would stick with something either like a Mobius or a run cam. At least that way then you're guaranteed that it's going to take off, and it's, not saying it's not going to damage the motors. Any additional weight is going to put a strain on those motors, but it's not going to be as bad as it trying to lift a GoPro. So there we are, Nick. I hope that's helped you in some way, my friend. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening, folks. I've been JD. You've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.